So in this case, we have a journal entry rule set, which is a combination of all the different rules that we have defined, whether it's description rule or the journal line rules and all. Okay, so these are the different rules that we have as per our requirement. Okay, so the account combination rule, journal line rule, segment rule, the account description rule. So all of these are what we had defined. Okay, now using this, if you were to create any payables invoices, all this relate to payables, so any payables related invoices, and you transfer them from payables to GL through the subledger tables, in that case the system will update the description with the description that you have defined. So if we go to payables invoices, you click on this review journal entries. These are the journals which are created at the um, subledger level. US primary ledger. Now if you click on this view journal entry, you see here the entry description. It is picking up the supplier site and the invoice type. Okay, now if you were to look at the transaction details here, you will find that original transaction was this. Okay, this was the party, this is the invoice, this was the payment. Against that, when you're looking at the information over here, you will find only this is populated. Let's look at another invoice. Suppose we want to just look at the ones within the month of May. Okay. See, in this case also, it has generated it. Okay. So these are all the different invoices for which you will find the entries getting generated in the journal and at the subledger level. This is not in GL. Okay. Now against this particular one, if you want to look at the journal entries, this is the summary level journal entry against which the individual lines are mentioned over there in the next tab. Okay. So these are this is the summary. This is the transaction summary. What happened in payables? This is from payables. If you want to look at the transaction, you can click on view transaction, you will get it. Okay. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Santosh?
No, sir.
All right. So, can we now move forward to the next one? So, anything else you wanted to review, Santosh?
Saurabh, when APTV reconciliation is going, some of the journals are getting stuck. How we can review that?
This is the way actually when payables from payables you are doing the transfer, na? So
Hmm.
you run the create accounting process.
Yeah.
First step is you run the create accounting process. Create accounting process will transfer the data from payables to GL through the
Hmm.
subledger tables.
Okay.
So at that point of time, if you want to review that transaction, you can click on this review journals here, and you can see what is there in subledger. If you want to see what is in general ledger, then you have to go to general accounting, and from there you can review it in GL. See, this general accounting is here. If I go to journals, I go to manage journals. And search for source. Here is payables. So based on the source, I'm picking up the transactions, and in the month of May. So all this source is payables.
We will get the batch status posted or not.
So if you want to look at, like, these are the purchase invoices. So this was in primary ledger. If you want to look at the transaction, okay. And if you want to look at the original transaction from credit, you click on this line, and this is your line description. Okay, Alliance 7, Blue Alliance 7, and you click on this view transaction. Okay, this is the transaction related information. This is the original transaction as it happened in payables.
Okay. Okay, sir. My doubt is clear.
Okay. So today we will be looking at the reporting from the GL side. As you know, reporting is an important aspect in GL, particularly because all the books of accounts are generated here. So we need to have good amount of reporting requirements that we'll have from here, and we should be able to deliver those reports for our users, right? And in Fusion, what Oracle has done is, based on all the products that it has acquired over the years from different vendors, from different uh, software companies that it bought out, it has integrated all the different products into one single place. Okay, and and that single this is the all the different tools that we use within application. Okay, so the central repository is your financial reporting center from the application. From the desktop, you have financial reporting center, which is basically your one-stop place for all your reports. Okay, within financial reporting center, you have the financial reporting studio, the account group Sunburst, Smart View reports, transactional BI dashboard, BI publisher report, BI apps, the Vision General Ledger Balances Cube is the one which is your which keeps tally of the summary information, all the balances, the running totals and all that. So all of that is accessible through your FRC. Okay, so based on um, the different integration points that they have built up, we can create these,
Hello.
we can, or rather I'll say we can view all the reports
Hello.
in, in one single place, okay, so
Okay.
that we can access all the reports
ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
easily.
ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಮೇಡಮ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ
Okay, so let's take a
ಆನ್
look
ಕಟ್
at
ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಆನ್ ಆಗೋದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು
where we are, okay, and how we navigate this so that we are able to look at all the
ಇನ್ನೇನಿದೆಯಾ ಕೇಳೋದು
so the ledger, it will define predefined reports that cover account analysis, journals, trial balance report, reconciliation report, chart of account reports. These are the broad 5 categories of reports that you can define, you will find in the system. Okay, these are the broad 5 types of report. Now, based on each of these different reports that you have, let's first take a look into the system and see where we'll find all of this. Just switch the user. So that particular user did not have it, so I switched the user. Okay, it's put under others. So financial reporting center. From here, this is like the single place for all your different reports. Okay, so if you click on this, okay, you can look at the particular transactions also, or you can look at different aspects. Now you can search for different reports or different things here. Okay, and let's say this is like the sunburst. This type of report is the sunburst report that is called. So this is the monthly revenue. The ones that are marked yellow means those are favorites. So you will find them under the favorites one, and recent one, and all. You must have seen latest version of Excel also provides a sunburst report option, chart option rather. Okay. Now this is the data. This is the monthly revenue for one particular period. It compares with what is there in the previous year, corresponding period. Let's see. Some data. Oh, that looks better. So 15 and 14. 14 has a lot of data here. All of them is there's nothing in 15. So it would be better if we have 1 year and the previous year. Both of them are populated. But this one 14 is there, but no 13. So now you have 15, 18 and 19 data. So account wise, product wise, cost center, product combination, you have different based on you have different data, okay, company description and percentage changes and all of that. Now if you want to view the sunburst report based on this, you will say click view as sunburst. Okay, so this is the monthly revenue. So this is 261 is one of the cost centers, 251 and 230. 261 is again related to the services, 600 total regional sales, total sales, whereas this one is services, total regional sales, total sales, services, total sales. So as you can see, it is gradually expanding out. So monthly revenue by different departments, cost centers, and by the individual segments. Okay. So it's gradually expanding out. So when you click on the outermost one, you get a comparison of both of them over here. Okay. So as you can, if you bring your cursor here, you can see the data. Okay. Now this account group you can change from monthly revenue to actual versus budget. Based on the data. So here we had revenue and expenses or monthly revenue. Ours was monthly revenue. Now the So this was the sunburst report. Now, if you click this view as table, the same thing you will see, and you are taken back to the table format. And when you say view as sunburst, so you can switch between the two as per your need. If you want to look at the description, click on view, show description. Okay, it shows the description on each of them rather than the account code or the cost center code. It will show you the description. Okay, so from the description you can make out what geography or what services cost center it pertains to. So that's as far as the sunburst one is concerned. So these are, when you click on all, you will see all the different types of reports that are visible here. Now, if you look at these names here, along with the names, you have the corresponding format. Okay, image. So each of the image represents what type of report it is. Okay, so like we were seeing this, that's the sunburst report. Okay, so now if you look at this icon here, like a small icon, it is the OTBI analysis report. So if you go into the application now, you look at this, this is the budget versus actual for dashboard, budget versus actual lot controlled items. So each of them is a different, if the image changes, you will know what type of report it is. So this is budget versus actual. It's an analysis kind of report. So if we click on this, the parameters do not match up with the data. this is the statement of revenues. What else we say? Let's see if this one has any data. Otherwise, we'll have to go through OBIE and run the report. So you see, this is the spend by category. So if you want to drill down further, you can click on this and it will take you to the corresponding data. PO spend by supplier or PO spend trend. So it gives you the entire category wise what is the total spend and what is the percentage of spend. So as you can see, business liability insurance itself takes up almost 75% of the spend.
So these are all the delivered reports given by Oracle.
Correct.
If any we want to write a new thing,
Then you have to create your own report.
okay, are we covering that in this center course?
Not in this course. That is a separate one for technicals. Because not all functional people will be creating the reports. This is like I logged in as Casey Brown. So Casey Brown is the finance person and she has been given access to these reports. So she'll be running these reports and see. This is like if you, from the names you can make out your total spend year on year trend. Every year, if you were to compare. And from the image you can make out what type of report it is. So quarter for every year over the last seven, how many years? 8 years. So we have the trend every quarter. How many? How much was spent? How much of POs was released? Okay. Now, this is one of the types of report. So we saw the sunburst, we saw this, which is your BI transactional. So this, if you look at, this is a dashboard. This is the icon. So if we go back and check, this is the icon for dashboards, transactional BI dashboard report. So dashboard is like a one place summary for all information. So this is the statement of revenues. This was the budget. What percentage of revenue? So this is the actual. Okay, so this is the actual, this is the budget. And from here, if you want to change it anything, if you want to generate a PDF, you can click on this and you can get a PDF preview. Or if you want to export this to Excel, you can export this to Excel as well. Now, besides this, you also have the ability to change the parameters. So this is for, these are the parameters in our traditional reports as we saw it. So if you want to change from one particular accounting period, these are all the product values. So you, right now we have chosen all products. If you want to just look at, this is the accounting period. This is the one for accounting period. Yeah, accounting period. So if this current accounting period is 0220, so if you look, scroll down, you will find 0220 is highlighted here, right? So if you want to look at something, let's say 0320, change this, choose the 0320, say okay. So now the data for 0320 is displayed. Okay. This is all product values. If you just want to filter it out to only the corporate products, it will refresh and display only the, so there's nothing much there. Nothing here also. So this has some data which is being displayed for this particular accounting period. Okay. And if there are more parameters here, you can switch them. You can also navigate, you can move from one to the, if there are more. Okay. So this is the dashboard kind of report. Let's see. The download like icon is for Smart View. So if you look at this type of icon, so this is the BI publisher report. Okay, so this icon means it's a BI publisher report. In this particular case, it is for absences, which is related to HCM. Doesn't seem to be anything for finance here, which is different type of report. All financial reports. This one is their AP outstanding, so we can run this.
So any transaction you make will be, those transactions will be reflected immediately.
Yes. So this one you can also generate, you can post it. This is more like a printable report. Okay. So if you want to generate it in a PDF, you can immediately generate it from here and download it also onto your desktop and then print it locally, or you can keep it in your desktop. Okay. And if you want to make any modifications, like editing the layout, so it depends on what has been given, what kind of access has been provided to the user. And export. Okay, so that was the AP outstanding. So if we again go back, usually outstanding reports, aging reports, these are typical reports which are printed out, and people want to review that data, how much data is outstanding for how long, which are printed out. So that was the BI type of report. This is one of the other types of reports. So if you go back and look at this icon, okay, so FRS reports. So April 20 A1 ledger in rolling quarterly income statement. So it will look at the last 4 quarters, starting from the quarter that you are picking in the parameter. So if you are saying April 20, it will go back 4 quarters or 4 periods. So what they have done in this Fusion is they have brought a single interface for the users. So one single place from where you can run all the different reports, view all different types of reports, and you wouldn't have to, run around from one place to another to run different reports. Okay. Able to generate the output. All these are April 20. All right. So at least you know, you can look this up. Now, the other thing that you can do here is if you want to, as you can see, there are a whole lot of reports which pertain to almost every domain. So instead of that, you can just type here. Okay. So let's say you want to look at all asset related stuff. You say asset, and you have the list coming up over here. Okay. So let's say asset register that you want to see. Okay. Asset register comes up. You click on it. Okay. And let's say we want, since we are in the GL part now, we want balance. So if it is, whether it is payables or trial balance or bank statement balances, asset balances, you have this here. Okay. So all the things. So this is the dashboard. This is the BI reports. And let's say you want anything for journals. Okay. So you have the daily journals report. So provide subledger journal activity for a given period or date range and other criteria. So schedule is basically you're running it through the concurrent request kind of thing, the monitor request, submit new request. US primary ledger. What is the source? We want to look at, let's say, payables. And from period. So we look at the one for the month of May. Detail, and then we submit it. You can also go to the monitor process and review it from there. Okay, this is the monitor processes. So now that report has completed, it is coming up over here. So let's take a quick look at the monitor processes. The daily journals report. This is expected to be visible there. Might be taking a few minutes to refresh. But from here also you can view the output. Okay. So when you click here, you will get to see your output. Okay. If you want to download it, you can click on this. In my case, it is set to download. So it will download it into the desktop. This is the output document. Okay. Okay. The others were also downloading here when we were clicking from there. So if I were to now look at this, this is the latest one. Is this to PDF? So it's opening up over here. So these were the journals that were done in the month of May. User fin IMPL. Okay. Now because my setting in this case is set to download, system is actually downloading it. Okay. And instead of downloading, I can also view it on that particular screen. I think when you try it, by in case yours is not set to download, it will show up in that same window there. Okay. So these are the recent reports that we have run. So let's again go back to and look for another one. So if you want to look at the unposted journals, you can, or want to look at the journal entry, journal ledger report, journals and third party report. So based on whatever you are entering, okay, you can view the corresponding report. So you can search for them by name. Suppose you want to look at the payables invoices, you can click here, invoice. Project invoices or invoicing, or depending on these are project related invoices, invoice status, invoice no POs. Okay. So based on your if you have anything, it will show up over here. Or what else have we done? Let's say payment. So you can search for the payment reports over here. So overdue payment, payables payment register. Now this is also PI report. So you click on this, and to schedule it, you will click on this schedule from here. Okay. So what do you want to see between this date and this date? Let's just enlarge this date because there may not be payments in May. So and here up to output document 3. So this is the output document. So this is the payables payment register. So these are the payments that have been processed in the month in this period. Okay. So you have the dates here. Okay. 24th March. Between 24th March and April, there's no payment processed in May. So this is the PDF that has got generated, and you can download it from here also. And once this comes up here, if you want to open this in new window, that is the other option that you have. Okay, so this report would open up depending on your settings. See the other document, in my case it is download, so it is downloading from here. All right, so that is about the different types of reports that are there. Okay, and we couldn't see the other types, guys. Couldn't find the other types. So you can also try from your side when you get into the application. We couldn't find one for Smart View. I will look up later if there is anything for Smart View, and then we can review that. Okay. So any questions, guys? So please run these reports from your side. Okay. We'll stop here today. It's past 9 o'clock. Okay, Rakesh.
Yes.
Santosh has left. He has
Hmm.
started at 9. So we'll stop here. Have a go at the reports. Okay.
Sure.
And then we'll look it up for next class.
Sure.